morning time. I didn't miss. Oh, look at this. What is this? This is a cotton thing. That's a not a badly discounted JCB thing, which I would like but can't afford. And that is a potato planter, which, yeah, just not getting into potatoes. Okay, so let's have a look at the old scoreboard. We can plant sorghum, soybeans, and corn. Tell me corn. Corn. So that's the 3 crops I want to plant now. And jump to there, visit. This is now grass growth ready to harvest. So we can set the John Deere off in here. I wish that would... Oh, there's a hoeing contract for 2,000. That's really... Yeah, no. Okay, so everything on our farm needs to get done. We still have £10,000. Let's jump in the John Deere. Get this. Whoa, why are we going backwards, dude? Who leaves it parked in reverse? Dump the weight there. And let's go attach the bits on the back. I will set this off on a worker because, yeah, workers. Workers and grass work. I am not in any hurry to get the grass work job done. It just needs to happen. And we've seen enough of those. Especially with the English farm, which we had so much grass that we had to do. All right. We're also, I think we're about a week away from the release of the premium DLC or whatever they're calling it this year. Stop. Okay. I think that is all ready to just go. Just go. Yeehaw. Next. Not you. You. We don't want to cook sugar beets anymore. We want to... I think I'm going to plant corn next. No. Oh, soybeans is the one I want. That one. We have everything attached. That's good. Oh, and do not crash into the truck. Crash into the grain bins either. We do have a bunch of soybeans in the grain bins, but their best sell time is not for a while. June, I think. So April, May, June, yeah, 2 more months, and they're worth about 120. So that would be a good thing. Okay, this thing is now full of seed, which may or may not be a good thing. Now, great thing about soybeans is we don't have to fertilize them. They're automatically perfectly fertilized. I think in real life, the beans tend to suck nitrogen out of the air and push it into the soil, so the next year, the stuff you plant, there's more nitrogen in the field. That doesn't work on Farming Simulator, so it's basically, it doesn't need fertilizer because stuff. Okay, let's disco that. Hitch up on the side with the fertilizer tank. And I could do a low level of manual solid fertilizer at this point, just so I need less liquid later. But liquid fertilizer is cheaper than solid. Fold. And so really I think it's better just pre-fertilize with manure and the like. And then do the precision fertilization with a liquid tank with crop sensors attached to the tractor. That's the better way of doing things. Okay, turn on. Lower the thing. Select forward, we have. Let's go. So let's get soybeans in the ground. And again, these are a very low density crop. So it's not going to take us long to get this done. Or it's not going to use much seed. We might have way too much. I just don't know. I think sorghum might use a bit, and corn will probably use a fair amount too. But soybeans and sugar beets, we haven't used much yet. Plus it could have something to do with how good our dirt is. Because dirt does affect. You can see it at the top on the variable seed rate. That is based on the quality of dirt we're planting into. And the better the dirt, the less seed you need to get a good crop. Okay, I think tea is done. Oops. Bit of a shame that we're not following the lines of the cultivator. Oh, so that was new announcements this week. There is a new team of programmers that are working on a farm simulator game. Now, from what I understand, they are fairly experienced in the ways of farm sim itself, Giants Farming Simulator, and have a long record of mods for Farming Simulator, which I assume equipment and the other thing, scripts. So they've decided to do their own Farming Simulator game. Now, we've seen 3-4 Farming Simulator games over the past 7-8 years, and the only one left is still Farming Simulator. The others all folded. These guys, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, they're not looking for Kickstarter or anything like that. They're just working on this game. And I did see on Facebook this week they're looking for people to volunteer as beta testers. Now, the proviso on the game is they're not bringing in money at the moment. They're concentrating on gameplay. So they want to make sure the cultivators work, the plows work, the seeders work, etc., etc. The tractors or the equipment will all be generic. a small seeder, a large seeder, a small cultivator, a large cultivator, a small red tractor, a big green tractor, blah, blah, blah. No sponsorship deals or anything like that. So you won't be playing the game with Case and John Deere and everything else. But as they've mentioned, we want to make sure the game works before we start concentrating on the nice to haves. So basically the idea is once the game is functional and people like what it's presenting, then they will look at potentially approaching vehicle manufacturers and equipment manufacturers and saying, hey, we've got this new game, look, it's really great. Can we buy a licensing deal for your stuff? So we'll see how that goes. They do have big desires for their game. I mean, one of the things I know they're starting out looking at is deformable terrain. I don't know how deformable it'll be or how much memory of deformation there will be. Deformation, not defamation. But that will be an interesting development over the coming years, I guess. But for now, virtual people who play farmers on the internet are kind of stuck with Farming Simulator by Giants. Oh, this is 40 seeds per meter cubed here. This is horribly sad dirt here. So we're chewing through the seeds a little bit quicker. Now for this planting session, this is the only field that is outside the bounds of our centralised farmland. There's a ditch between us and the John Deere, so you have to go around the roads to get to this field. Everything else is on the side of the ditch that the John Deere is at. So I will top up the seed tanks on the way back into the farmyard because that's kind of convenient. But after that, I can leave the seeder in this unfolded form and do everything else we need to do. I'm going to have to unfold it and stick it in transport mode to get back to the farm for now. Trying to think what else has been going. I will probably, once we've sold the soybeans, I will be putting a root crop storage on the farm next to the horse manure area. So that I don't have to dump the sugar beets on the ground when we harvest them this year, because that was annoying, trying to scoop them all up. And I did that off camera, but that was not the easiest of tasks, shall we say. Mrs. Osa's also suggested I just take a week off work sometime. Not so that we can go anywhere. It's getting to the point where going somewhere is not an easy plan. Most of her family live in Ohio. We could go tripping to North Michigan, but we are hitting snow time, and travelling around these here states is can be a problem. Yeah, if I book a vacation, second week in November or something like that, and it snows, then I'm not going anywhere. So if I actually make a plan to take a week off and not going anywhere, I'm not going to be upset that I can't go anywhere because the weather's bad. I can just be comfortable that no, I'm just taking a week off so I can rebuild my strength and sleep and all the things. Just relax for a week. I tend to find going places is not that relaxing because we either get up early in the morning and go and visit family if we're in Ohio, or we'll go and do the touristy things. And when you're doing the touristy things, you're always, you're getting up and moving around. Really, I don't need to be getting up and moving around. That has drained me these last years. So just having no demands on my time, being able to do what I want when I want to do it, and if I want to take a nap in the afternoon, I can take a nap in the afternoon. Stuff like that. Then we are close to oh, I left the windrow. Never mind. I'm getting close to using up all the seeds on this field. Which I'm a little surprised about. That is one of the problems with planters. Planters have crazy small seed storage. You put them in the little buckets on the back. So what have we got there? 4, 8, 12. We've got 12. This is a 12-row seeder. You've got 12 little storage bins, one for each. One for each seed head, whatever it is, for each planting mechanism, and they're not very big. Whereas the seeders tend to come with a big seed tank, and the seeds are fed out to the planting equipment, the rows. I mean, with this one, you've got the what is that? The fertilizer tank on the front has distribution pipes across the range of seed heads, or seeder heads, whatever they are. But, a seeder will do that for all the seed as well, which is a good thing most of the time. Okay, we'll just do that one. Then I guess I will bring us about. Now, because the inner headland is going to overlap so much of the rows I've already done, may not use much in the way of seed for this lap. But once we get to the outside headland, all bets are off. We've got 18% seed. Yeah, we're not going through it very quickly right now because of that hole. We already planted most of this, and the seeder is set up so it only puts seed where there isn't already seed. And because this isn't a direct drill, it's putting seed where the ground is ready to accept seed. So if you've already planted the ground, it's not ready to accept seed. If you haven't cultivated it or ploughed it, it's not ready to accept seed. I did pay off the debt, so that's good. Obviously this row runs parallel to the inner rows. So we will use all the seeds going down here. I really would like not to have to go back to the yard. That's not always possible. I could get the pickup actually. Throw the pallet bags or the seed bags into the back of the pickup. One of the Tom Pemberton might as well, but one of the US farmers I watch, they've only got a small operation, so when it comes to planting crops, they just throw seed bags in the back of the pickup and drive out to the field. Millennial farmer has a great big seed tender, so he puts all of the seeds in that. Actually, he uses, if we go to, where seeds go? There. If we go to seeds, he usually gets this sort of thing. So he just picks it up with his skid steer, and there's a hole in the bottom. He just drops that into the seed tender, and then he can fill up his seeders and planters straight from the seed tender. But other people, they just get the little bags, and they may load a pallet with a skid steer or a front loader tractor on the back of the truck, but then they manually unload into the seed container.